As a teacher and later as a literacy coach, I found common planning time or common collaboration time integral to my success. As a new teacher coming to a school for the first time, it was so helpful to be able to sit down with teachers who had taught the subject previously or worked with the course and have time to really discuss with them how we can make the course a success for the students and for myself.
CPT made me a better teacher. I was actually a first-year teacher when I was first put into a CPT team.
As a teacher, I've always wanted to improve my practice. So how can I truly improve my practice if I have no one to actually reflect on what I'm doing against?
Jim Knight also talks about this idea that in order to improve, you have to recognize that there's a gap between your perception of your teaching and what the reality of your teaching is. And working with a partner just helped me to see that a little bit more.
This also improved my learning as an educator, collaborating with someone else, seeing their ideas, and taking both of our ideas and putting together a product that reflects both of our strengths helped me to grow in areas of weakness.
It also allowed me time to really have my voice heard. Instead of being in my class and feeling maybe overwhelmed by everything that was happening, I had time set aside every day to talk with and interact with my colleagues.
You have a sounding board and someone who could point out what the potential problems are, someone who can sit down with you and norm grading and go through test results. That was just extremely productive and valuable.
It made me reflect on everything I was doing. It made me question everything I was doing. And in questioning that, of course, the entire purpose of our profession in education is the benefit of the student. So if a teacher does not reflect, does not have a drive to be better, then we can say the student's not going to be better.
And although I was a first-year teacher, I think that CPT is really valuable for experienced teachers as well, because having someone who approaches teaching differently from you just forces you to continually grapple with what the best way is to improve student learning.
CPT is different. It actually forces a teacher to meet with their intellectual content equal and discuss the best practice they think they both agree upon to move further with the academic attainment of the student. So you have two teachers, for example, 8 years apiece. That's 16 years of experience going in and finding the best practice for the student.
There's not anything you can't do during a CPT. Moderated grade, align standards, make common assessments, conference with administration, share strategies, troubleshoot labs, conference with students, share professional development materials that you've gathered, everything. There's a massive impact on student success by using that CPT time. And there's a massive impact on teacher happiness too.
Wait, teaching and collaborating is part of the daily schedule, and fortunately, I was allowed to work with individuals who not only improved me content-wise, but professionally in how I would put the content across to the students. Now,
I had this at my former school. I don't currently have it, and I really miss it, actually. I really think it's something that helped me to become a more innovative teacher, and I think more importantly, a more aligned teacher in terms of my assessment practices.
And so conflict, I think in CPT is actually something that's quite good. As long as you can accept that there's more than one way to reach the same goal, and that the way that someone else suggests, even if it's not the way you do it, could be just as effective.
It gave us really a benchmark for where we were going with each unit, and it ensured too that our practices in the classroom of what we were teaching were aligned, even if we weren't doing the same daily activities or teaching in the same manner. At the end of the day, the outcome was the same. So.
Later, as a literacy coach, I really valued the time I had with the different teams to talk and to watch how they interacted with each other. It allowed us to look at our objectives and standards at the beginning of the unit always and really plan our assessments out knowing we were hitting our end goal. Second, it really gave us a chance to norm and align our grading. The number of times that we would sit down and look at an essay or a narrative or a group book discussion and realize that we had all approached our rubric in a different way saved us from perceived mistakes by the students, and also just allowed us to really see what are we looking for? What does this standard look like in our assessment? Finally, and kind of one of the biggest things for all of us, is it really bonded us as a team. It was a safe place to come and discuss our successes, but also to talk about our perceived failures and how we could better our teaching in the future.
I'll speak about common planning time from the perspective of an administrator. And one of the things that I thought was really powerful was that she embedded it into the schedule. So the teachers not only had prep time that was aligned, they were assigned a CPT class. That gave it more validity and actually helped it to stick a little bit more than if you just had this vacuous time that teachers could access and they could see that they could use it in any way that they wanted. Assigning them the CPT kind of it stepped up the game. It let teachers know that there was an expectation during this time that they collaborate. And I thought that was one of the most powerful ways to embed this into the school culture, because
CPT was an incredibly valuable component of my learning as a teacher for that year, and I would recommend it for anyone.
Teaching this way has improved me, but it also has helped my students because it's no longer just one opinion myself, but it's going to be a group effort in order to engage and really get the content across the way that it needs to get across to the students. So I believe in CPT. I hope you do too.
So if I were back in the classroom and had the opportunity to plan with someone else, I would absolutely jump at it.
Really puts you as part of a team, and you approach everything with this idea of collaboration first, and I just really benefited from that, and I think all of my friends and colleagues did as well.